Welcome everybody. So I think it's time to start this webinar. Let's start with the beginning with the first slide. As you can see, I have prepared some slides for you to give you more clarity and to be more interactive. So once again, welcome everybody. Today, in today's webinar, I'm going to help you to reprogram the belief that it's hard to make money and I have to work hard for them. It will be a powerful experience where, once again, at the end of this webinar, you will feel an instant transformation in your life that you never thought possible. It is my seventh webinar that I'm doing in this community on different topics. You can see all of the webinars on my YouTube, but today we're gonna work for the first time on the money issue. And by the way, if you stay until the end, you're gonna be able to register for a private session with me or one of my facilitators to also experience this technique one-on-one. It is a powerful experience that you're gonna be amazed to see how incredible it is. We are almost 300 people actually on the webinar. So what is the schedule of this webinar? In the first part, you will understand how this method works, and in the second part, I will do group and individual reprogramming sessions where basically you will be able to experience this powerful technique and to see what it means actually to reprogram a fear or a limiting belief and to see the results instantly. Because perhaps you've been doing some self-development or you've been trying to do different manifestation exercises, yeah, because you're coming from the law of attraction law of attraction page, which is 5 million followers on Instagram, and perhaps you've done some tips that my friend is sharing on that page. And usually to reprogram a fear, it might take you a couple of months or even years, yeah, of therapy and affirmations and a lot of work. But with this technique, you're gonna see that you can change any belief or release any trauma or any negative emotion and to see the results instantly. And at the end of this webinar, we're going to have a Q&A. So if you have any questions, yeah, you can ask me anything and I'll be happy to answer you. We are already 300 people on the webinar. Incredible, and welcome everybody. Let's go further. So if you want to see results, make sure you are present. Yeah, you make sure that you will not be distracted. Turn off your social media, other distractions, and be fully engaged in this process. Especially when I'm gonna start making the commands. It's gonna take me about 10 minutes to do the commands at the end. Especially in those moments, if you want to see results and if you want to overcome that money blockage, be present, be involved, and you're gonna see some incredible results. Yeah. So why do we reprogram the subconscious mind? Let's start with the first topic, because 95% of our actions, thoughts, behaviors, emotions are coming from your subconscious programs and not from conscious choices. Perhaps you've been trying, to control your mind or to force the positive thinking, and you saw that it's not working really like that. You cannot control the mind, you cannot control the emotional reactions. They just happen based on the emotional memory that we have collected in our subconscious mind. Because once again, you cannot wake up the next day with a different behavior, with new information, or to have a different mindset. You are basically forced to leave the memory, the emotional memory that has been stored in your subconscious mind. And we have about 50,000 thoughts per day, and up to 80% of those thoughts are negative and 95% of them are repetitive. So that's why it's important to change the subconscious mind. If you want to think more positively, to be more happy, to have more beautiful relationships, to have more money, yeah, and to have more positive reactions, we need to change the subconscious mind. We need to change especially the fears and the limiting beliefs that have been installed in our subconscious mind throughout the life, throughout all the traumas and the intense emotional experience that we had. And without reprogramming, you will keep living the same story in just different scenarios. Yeah. And what is the mental reprogramming technique? So with this method, basically you can release any negative emotions or anxiety instantly. You can change any limiting belief or fear. And the most exciting thing about this method is that you can see the results instantly. And this is actually the reason why I've created such a huge community about this method. And we have already over 3,500 testimonials and case studies in the last 3 years since I started to share this technique, mainly in Romania. And we have over 130 30 free workshops with live demonstrations that I've done in different cities in Romania and even in Bali and across the the Europe. And we have 2,000 students that have learned this technique already. It's very simple to learn it, to apply it on yourself, to apply it on others, and to have a profound transformation in your life. So let me share a little bit actually my story to connect with you a little bit deeper. So my name is Emmanuel. I'm 32 years old. I'm from Romania, and currently in my life I have an extraordinary level of success. I'm financially and emotionally free since over 7 years. I've been traveling the world. I have amazing relationships, and I literally wake up every day with joy and enthusiasm, and I go to sleep with joy and enthusiasm. And I have this consciousness, this level of consciousness that I call emotional freedom, where basically I can let my mind think of any situation from the past, from the present, or from the future, and I cannot find any negative emotions. Because if you start working on the memory of your subconscious mind and release all those negative layers of emotions, you're gonna arrive in the point where basically you don't have many negative thoughts or many negative emotions throughout the day. And this is something that a lot of my students have achieved already. But my life wasn't always like this. As I said, I was born in Romania into a complex family where I grew up with a lot of domestic violence and poverty. And I grew up with this deep belief that I don't deserve to live. Because my father made me my mistake and he rejected me a lot. He was telling me since I was very, very young that he made me my mistake, and he was telling me to leave the house and telling me how happy was he if I was not there. And I had social anxiety and panic attacks since I was 26 years old, literally every day. I was, since the moment I was waking up, I know I was going on the streets, I was going to job, I was going to university, wherever I was going, I was feeling this shame and this social anxiety every day, constantly in my mind. Even when I was 26 years old, going to a shop, and if the seller was looking into my eyes, I literally had panic attacks. And it was quite painful, actually. I was humiliated and bullied in all the social environments I was in, because that was basically the memory, the emotional memory that was in my subconscious mind. It was full of pain. And I had big problems with attention and memory. When I was, for example, in high school, I could never remember the homework that the teacher were giving us to do at home, because it was so painful for me to stay in the body that I had brain damage from all of those traumas. And now I consider myself actually an intelligent person and successful, and anything can be changed. And here is actually a picture with me 7 years apart. Here on the left hand side is me having social anxiety, and I was actually same height, yeah, 186 centimeters, and 20 kilograms difference. Yeah, because when you have social anxiety and when you have any mental or emotional problems, you can see them reflected in the physical body. Yeah. And because I woke up spiritually actually when I was 13 years old, and I became fascinated about this idea that we can create our experience of life with our thoughts and emotions. I became very passionate, about psychology, about spirituality, and I started to read a lot of books. I read actually hundreds of books, and it was a huge period of my life of about 6 years where I was so desperate and so disciplined to change my life and to overcome the poverty and the mediocrity and the especially the anxiety that was following me like a curse every day. And I have done years of EFT tapping, of psyche, of theta healing, of timeline healing. I've done even ayahuasca 24 times. I was paying a lot of money to a lot of courses and programs and retreats and a lot of healers, and I was literally so desperate to heal myself. I was waking up every day at 5 a.m. and doing a lot of yoga and a lot of spiritual practices. I was reading, writing a lot of pages of manifestations, and I've done hundreds of hours of affirmations, and I was sleeping with affirmations. And I remember that actually I couldn't sleep at night if I knew that in that day I was not doing something very important and significant to change my life. And actually, after a lot of self-development and a lot of spiritual practices and therapies, I came to the conclusion that not a lot of things are working, you know. And I was looking into my social life, into the people that I was surrounded with that were also on the same path. They were working on themselves, they were disciplined, they were trying to improve their life, and they were at the same level after many, many years. And this is actually the story that most of my clients are telling me. Hey, I've been working on myself for so many years. I've done, so many affirmations. I've done a lot of courses and practices and therapies, and I still feel stuck. I am at the same level. I still feel the anxiety, and I still have the social and the relationship problems, you know. And the solution actually that helped me is to measure and to quantify the results. And this is actually the main big problem that people have when they start to work on themselves, that they don't measure and then don't quantify the results. Because if everything is controlled by our subconscious mind, the first thing that we need to do before doing any therapy or any self-development practice is to evaluate the subconscious mind, to find exactly how many fears and limiting beliefs are there, and to reprogram all of them. And I will give you actually immediately a short structure to give you more clarity and to identify exactly your level of self-development and the programming that you have in your subconscious mind. Yeah. And here is actually the exercise, very simple. So before going deeper into this exercise, once again, welcome everybody, and let's take a few deep breaths in to become more present, to become more aware. All right, so here is actually a short list with the main fears and limiting beliefs that people have in their subconscious mind. After I work with over 10,000 people, I realized that most of the people have same fears and same limiting beliefs in their subconscious mind. And here's the thing, if you want a long-lasting, powerful transformation in your life, if you want to have success, if you want to have beautiful relationships, if you want to wake up every day with joy and enthusiasm, and to have literally success on all levels of your life, you have to do one single thing, not a lot of things, just one single thing. To reprogram all of this list with main fears and limiting beliefs. And what you have to do in this exercise, and by the way, after you register for the session, I will give you the full list. What you have to do with this list is to write next to each fear and limiting beliefs from this list how intense it is for you on a scale of intensity. So for example, when you think about the fear of the future, yeah, right next to it how intense it is, the fear of the future, the fear of judgment, of loneliness, of poverty, of illness, yeah, the belief that I'm not good enough. So you have to write next to each one of them, and you have to make sure that these fears are decreasing in intensity, because if another 6 months or 1 year have passed and these fears and limiting beliefs are at the same intensity and at the same level, your life will be exactly the same. Yeah. And this is basically how you can measure and quantify the results, because once again, a lot of people are doing a lot of coaching, a lot of therapies, a lot of energy healing, and they throw affirmations and positive thinking every day, but chaotically, without being able to measure and to quantify the results. And to be honest, it doesn't matter if you use my techniques and if you use whatever techniques or methods you want, you have to make sure that this list is decreasing in intensity. Because if, for example, you want to do, I don't know, meditations, affirmations, and to write journal for 6 months to improve your life, what I would do in your case, in your situation, is I would do this exercise with the main list and limiting beliefs, write next to each one how intense they are, and after 6 months, do the exercise again to see if you progress. And once again, if you've done that and the fears are at the same intensity, then you're at the same level. You're gonna still be stuck. So this is like the map of your subconscious mind. This will give you a lot of clarity to understand where are you now in point A and where you have to be in point B, where you're gonna be completely free. And I guarantee you, if you reprogram all of this list with main fears and limiting beliefs, you're gonna have an incredible, beautiful life for the rest of your life. So this is the only thing that you have to do. And what you can do also is maybe do this exercise every year at the beginning of the year to see where I am now, how much I still have to work. Make sense? Please write in the chat if this makes sense to you. How do you get this list? Well, after, once again, I've been working with over 10,000 people, and actually the list is a little bit bigger than this. When you're going to register for the session, the private session at the end, I'm going to send you the full list, because this is just like a presentation list. Yeah. Most of the people, they take this exercise, like something unimportant, but it's actually very important. If you care about your life, if you want to put yourself first, if you want to have success, beautiful relationships, more money, more energy, more confidence, then do this exercise to understand where you are. If you consider your life important, do this exercise and don't stop until you reprogram all of this list. If you do this, trust me, you're gonna have an incredible, beautiful life for forever. This is the one thing. And you know what is actually beautiful? Because most of the people believe that it is the subconscious mind is actually a curse, because if you have a trauma, if you have a belief, you're going to keep repeating those negative thoughts and those negative scenarios forever. That's why, for example, 80% of the people that won the lottery, they lost everything, because the subconscious programs kicks in, and you're going to be at the same level. No matter if you have your job, if you change your job, if you change your country, if you change your social environment, you're going to have same results if you don't change completely their subconscious mind. And beautiful, think about it, the blessing about the subconscious mind is that once you've done this work, and once you set your subconscious mind to have a certain level of success, once you change the subconscious mind and you change all of these fears, you're gonna be at the same level forever. So your success will be automatic, and you don't need to put a lot of effort. I'm financially free since 7 years, and I don't need to put a lot of effort to for this to happen. It just happens naturally. I don't need to force the positive thinking. It happens naturally. It's been over 7 years, yeah, since I never felt social anxiety, not even a little bit. Yeah, I've been speaking in front of hundreds of people on stage and never felt social anxiety, because I reprogram literally all the memories related to that social anxiety that exist into my consciousness, literally all of them, just like that. And you're gonna see actually how simple it is to change these beliefs and these fears. So let's go further. I hope you are excited to experience the technique, because I am. So how does this technique works? 3 simple steps. The first one, we need to identify, yeah, and to become aware of the problem. That's why we start from the list. That's why we're going to start with a specific belief. We're going to see how intense it is. For example, the belief that it's hard to make money, the belief that we're going to work on today, to see how intense it is in the beginning, so that we measure and we quantify. We never do this work chaotically just to throw, a lot of energy, healing, and affirmations with the hope that maybe one day my life will change. No, it doesn't work like that. The subconscious mind is not changing by hope or by chance. It has to be a clear practice that you can see the results immediately after that. And the second step is actually to make a commands. And why we do the commands? Hold on. And why we make a commands? Because if you haven't found out yet, the subconscious mind does not listen to affirmations, to positive thinking, to wishful thinking, to intentions, to writing in the journal. It obeys to commands. Once you use a powerful word into a complex sentence, you will see the results instant. Yeah, even though it might sound crazy, like, hey, to make commands, if you experience it, you're gonna see. Even Tony Robbins and a lot of other philosophers along the history, they were talking about this idea of making commands to the subconscious mind. But the technique that I've created is quite, not necessarily complex, but it gives you results instantly. You don't need to repeat something for months to change. You will see the results literally in few minutes. And the third step is to confirm the change. So we never, once again, do this work without being present, without see how intense it is in the beginning, the fear, the trauma, or the limiting belief that we want to work on, and to see after to measure the quantify and to measure and quantify the results after we apply this technique. And by the way, we don't use entities, we don't use external powers, we don't use positive thinking, auto suggestions, hypnosis. We use just the power of our consciousness to change ourselves. So it is a very clean technique. And by the way, nobody has ever complained about changing their subconscious mind, so you are in good hands. How do we tap into our subconscious? Well, maybe the question is, how do we reprogram the subconscious mind? If you want to tap and if you want to find out what's in your subconscious mind, start with this list. Do the work and be present and see what's in your subconscious mind. So we have arrived at the demonstration. So who is ready to experience the technique? So this was the first part of the webinar. Yeah, the theory, the clarity, and now we're about to experience the technique. So guys, I want you to take another few deep breaths in and be more present. Let's integrate a little bit all of this information that I shared. Take another deep breath. Okay, and now let's start with the first step. I want all of you to write in the comments how intense and true it is for you, the belief that it's hard to make money from 0 to 10. So write in the chat how intense it is, the belief that it's hard to make money from 0 to 10 when you think about it right now. So try to think about that belief and see how intense it is from 0 to 10. And please write in the chat. Okay, 6, 7, 5, 9, 9, 6, 8. So I want all of you to write in the chat how intense it is, this belief that it's hard to make money from 0 to 10. So we see how intense it is in the beginning and to see how intense it is after. And what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna bring on stage few people to do a special exercise which is called a digging exercise, because another secret that most of the people don't take in consideration when they're working with the subconscious mind is that the beliefs and the fears are not individual. The beliefs and the fears are connected to one another, and we have to go to the root of those fears in order to reprogram. So for example, under every fear there is another fear. Under the fear of the future, it might be the fear of losing your job. Under the fear of losing the job, it might be the fear that you're going to run out of money. Under that fear is, there are so many layers of fears. And the first step, as I said, is clarity. So we need to identify exactly what fears are under this belief that it's hard to make money, and then to reprogram all of them. So I'm gonna ask 3 people to come on stage, and I'm actually gonna send you a request to come on stage, and I'm gonna choose some people that have the fear quite intense. So for example, Tori Celestine, I'm gonna ask you to come here on stage and to do a special exercise, a digging exercise. So I'm gonna ask some more people that have this fear on a high intensity, and you're gonna see a request to join on stage. So you can answer to that request. All right, and I think we have somebody already. Hi, Celestine.
Hi, how are you?
Fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Amazing. Where are you from? Where are you now?
I'm in New Orleans.
Okay.
That's
Amazing.
Louisiana, New Orleans, Louisiana.
Congratulations for the courage, first of all.
Thank you.
Okay. So tell me please, how intense. Hi Ali. I'm just gonna keep your microphone off while I'm gonna finish with Celestine to do this exercise. So Celestine, tell me how intense it is, the belief that it's hard to make money from 0 to 10 when you think about it right now.
I said 10.
All right. Okay, so I'm gonna write down all of the beliefs that you're gonna tell me. So you have it at 10. Do you want to reprogram it?
Yeah, let's see.
Okay, amazing. So this is what we're gonna do next. I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions, and I want you to answer only with the first words that are coming to your mind without giving me explanations. And if you try to give me explanations, I will stop you.
You
And the
can hear me?
purpose of this, yes, can you hear me? You, oh, you, I think you're out. Hold on. I think you had a problem with the connection. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I'm back. I actually had a phone call come through. I think that's what the problem was.
Okay, okay. So let's start this exercise. So this is what we're gonna do next. I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions and I want you to answer only with the first words that are coming to your mind without giving me explanations. And if you try to give me explanations, I will stop you. And the purpose of these questions is to find out what is behind this fear. Okay?
Okay.
So tell me, why is hard to make money? What is the worst that can happen if it's hard to make money?
Hard work. A lot of hard work.
And what is the worst that can happen if you have to work hard?
Yes.
What is the worst that can happen if you have to work hard forever?
Um, Tired, just being burnt out.
And what is the worst that can happen if you're gonna be burned out?
That'll be the worst.
So what is the worst that can happen if this will happen?
Stress,
And what is the worst that can happen if you will always live your life with stress?
sickness,
And what is the worst that can happen if you are sick?
death, low
And what is
quality
the
of
worst
life.
that can happen if you die? The first words that are coming to your mind.
My children,
What is the worst that can happen if your children and your family will be left alone?
um, survival.
And what is the worst that can happen if you cannot survive?
Um, you end up not being able to, eat or
Okay. And Celestine, when you think about these fears, do you feel any negative emotions right now, like a heaviness in your chest or an emptiness in your stomach? Do you feel any negative sensation anywhere in your body?
yeah.
What do you feel and where?
I feel it in like the top part of my stomach.
Okay, in the stomach. What do you feel there?
It's like almost like an anxiety type of feeling, like
And what
nervousness,
and what sensation is there? Is an emptiness, is a pressure, is a tension?
pressure.
And how intense it is this emotion in the stomach from 0 to 10?
I say a 7.
Okay, Celestine, thank you so much. We have identified what we needed to identify. So now you can close your microphone, but don't go out of the stage because I'm gonna take uh, another. I'm gonna take Ali here present to do the digging as well, and after that, I'm gonna make commands to on all of the beliefs that I have it identified, and I will ask you how you feel after. Okay, so you
Okay.
can close your microphone and stay here. You can also close your camera if you want. Ali, I think you can open your microphone if you hear me. Hi, Ali. I can't hear you. Maybe your microphone is not connected. Okay, can you hear me now?
I don't know. I cannot seem
Okay,
to.
okay, I can hear you now.
Oh, you can hear me. Perfect. Amazing.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So Ali is your name, yeah?
Yes, it's my first and last name.
Amazing. Wow, wow, incredible. So you're from Romania.
Yes, I am originally Syrian, but I have a Romanian citizenship.
Okay, amazing. So tell me, Ali, how intense and true it is the belief that it's hard to make money for you on a scale of intensity from 0 to 10.
I would say an 8.
Okay, so you want to reprogram it?
I would love to.
Okay, let's do it. So you saw the exercise. I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions, and I want you to answer only with the first words that are coming to your mind. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
So tell me, what is the worst that can happen if it is very hard to make money?
I won't have a good lifestyle.
And what is the worst that can happen if you will not have a good lifestyle?
I will not be able to pay back for my parents.
And what is the worst that can happen if you are not able to pay back?
I will live with regret.
And what is the worst that can happen if you will live your life with regret?
I think I'll be depressed.
And what is the worst that can happen if you are in depression?
Um, I wouldn't enjoy anything.
And what is the worst that can happen if you will not enjoy anything?
I think it would lead to. I wouldn't want to say the word, but I would. If nothing makes any sense, you would think about ending your life.
And what is the worst that can happen if you're gonna end your life?
Um, it wouldn't be the way I would want to die.
And what is the worst that can happen if this will happen?
I will waste this lifespan, this chance.
And when you think about these fears, do you feel any negative emotions right now, like a heaviness in your chest or an emptiness in your stomach?
Yes, I feel a pressure on my chest.
Okay. And it's like a fear. What sensation it is in the chest? How do you describe it?
Um, it's like I don't know if it makes sense. You feel stress inside your chest, like compression.
Mm-hmm. And it is a fear, a sadness. What emotion it is?
Fear.
And how intense it is, this sensation from 0 to 10?
7, 8.
Okay, cool. So Ali, we have identified what we needed to identify. Thank you so much. You can close your microphone and your camera just for now. And what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna start to make the commands. So guys, for the next 10 minutes, I want you to be very present, very aware, yeah, to stop all the distractions. We're gonna start applying the technique to reprogram this fear. So to give you more clarity, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make commands to reprogram to all of you each and every individual fear and limiting belief that I have identified in Alice and Celestian's subconscious mind, and in about 10 minutes you're going to be able to see the results instantly on the spot. So take a deep breath, be present, be aware, and just feel the negative emotions that you feel regarding this belief that it's hard to make money. Yeah, be aware of that fear, put the finger on it just to have a point of reference to see how you feel it now in the beginning and how you feel it after. Yeah, so think about it, think about the belief that it's hard to make money, see how intense it is, see how you feel it in the body, see what emotional reactions you have when you think about it. Yeah, and let's start making the commands. So once again, it's going to take me about, I think, less than 10 minutes to make the commands. Take a deep breath. You can close your eyes if you want to, yeah, and just feel the negative emotions while I'm making the commands. And I'm gonna make the commands at the second person, so it's gonna be as though as I'm speaking to yourself, to each one of you individually. So take another deep breath and let's start. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have this pressure, this compression, fear, sadness, anxiety, and agitation in your chest area right now, and all the timelines since this negative emotion has been installed into your consciousness that you feel right now, like a pressure, like a fear, sadness, compression, agitation, and anxiety, I command to be taken from you and send it to the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and be replaced with timelines where you feel love, joy, power, courage, and enthusiasm. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have this negative emotion right now in your stomach, like a fear, like an anxiety, pressure, and emptiness, and all the timelines since this negative emotion has been installed into your consciousness that you feel right now into your stomach area, like a fear, anxiety, pressure, and emptiness, I command to be taken from you and send it to the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and be replaced with timelines where you feel happiness, joy, power, and fulfillment. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the negative emotions that you feel right now in your whole body, like a stress, like a heaviness, fear, and frustration, and all the timelines since this negative emotion has been installed into your consciousness that you feel right now into your whole body, like a frustration, fear, heaviness, and anxiety, I command to be taken from you and send it to the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and be replaced with timelines where you feel happiness, joy, power, and fulfillment. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you wasted your life and you have no purpose, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed into your consciousness that you wasted your life, I command to be taken from you and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you live your life with purpose, clarity, and joy. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are suffering and you are in pain, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed into your consciousness that you are suffering and you are in pain, I command to be taken from you and send it to the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are happy, full of joy, and in pleasure. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you want to end your life and you're gonna die, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed into your consciousness that you want to end your life and you're gonna die, I command to be taken from you and send it to the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you love your life and you will live a long and beautiful life. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that nothing makes sense in your life, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed into your consciousness that nothing makes sense in your life, I command to be taken from you and send it to the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that everything makes sense in your life and you are happy. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are in depression and you don't enjoy your life, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed into your consciousness that you are in depression and you don't enjoy your life, I command to be taken from you and send it to the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are happy, conscious, and free. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you live your life with regrets, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed into your consciousness that you live your life with regrets, I command to be taken from you and send it to the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots, and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you live your life with joy and excitement. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are not able to pay your bills and your debts, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed into your consciousness that you are not able to pay your bills and your debts and you're out of money, I command to be taken from you and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots and replays with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you always have more than enough money for everything. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and on the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you not have a good lifestyle, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed into your consciousness that you don't have a good lifestyle, I command to be taken from you and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots and replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you have an amazing lifestyle and you enjoy your life. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that it's hard to make money, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed into your consciousness that it's hard to make money, I command to be taken from you and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots and replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that is easy to make money and you have more than enough money for everything always. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you cannot survive, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed into your consciousness that you cannot survive, I command to be taken from you and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots and replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you can survive and you live a long and a beautiful life full of prosperity and abundance. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that your family will be left alone and your family is left alone, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed into your consciousness that your family is left alone, I command to be taken from you and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that your family is always safe and you are free. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are sick and you will die, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed into your consciousness that you are sick and you will die, I command to be taken from you and send it to the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that you are healthy and you live a long and beautiful life. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the possible and existing timelines where you feel and have the belief that you have to work hard and you burn out, and all the timelines since this belief has been installed into your consciousness that you have to work out and you burn out, I command to be taken from you and sent into the universal consciousness along with all the memories and roots and be replaced with timelines where you feel and have the belief that it's easy to you have a beautiful life and life is easy. I command that this change takes place now and forever into your consciousness and in all the levels of your existence. I command that all the receptor centers for the old programs, beliefs, emotions, and timelines of you to close and to open new receptor centers for the new timelines, beliefs, emotions, and programs. Okay, and take a few deep breaths. You can open your eyes. You can stretch your body a little bit to become more present, to become more aware. And take another deep breath. Smile. Move your body. You should feel the change in about 1 or 2 minutes usually. So let's see, Ali, how you are, and also Celestine. Ali, you can open your microphone. I'm
Um,
curious to see how you feel, how you are.
the feeling in the chest is gone, I can say. I
Okay,
feel
so
more
the
relieved.
pressure and the fear, you don't feel it anymore in the chest.
I feel way more relieved, yeah. But I was like
Amazing,
hypnotized. You feel me?
amazing. And the belief that it's hard to make money, how intense it is now from 0 to 10.
I would say 4.
Okay, amazing. So it's been lowered to about 50%. But usually if it's
Yes.
4 or lower, it doesn't control you anymore. So how was the experience? How does it feel to not have that pressure and that fear anymore?
You feel more relieved, you know. You feel when you have a fear of something, it automatically controls you. But when you don't fear it no more, you just like outcome it, you outgrow it, and you can focus on your life basically, not focusing on
Amazing,
these tiny details. Feels
amazing.
way better.
Enjoy the change.
Thank you very much.
So Celestine, how do you feel right now?
So I did feel a little emotional, but I do feel a lot lighter as well.
Amazing. How intense it is, the fear and the anxiety and the pressure from the stomach right now?
I would say I'm maybe about a 5.
Okay,
Yeah, but I do feel I want to say optimistic.
amazing. You should feel like more light in your body,
Yeah, I do.
like a heaviness is being lifted from you after when you
Exactly.
apply the technique. So how intense it is the belief that it's hard to make money? You still feel it, or is hard to find it?
No, I would say I feel, like I say, more optimistic, and I would say maybe about a 5.
Amazing. Congratulations. So how was the
Thank you.
experience? How does it feel to
I
not have that
enjoyed
fear
it.
anymore?
I wasn't expecting it, to be honest. I really wasn't expecting to feel what I felt. I'm a little shaky now, but yeah, it was awesome.
Enjoy the change. So stay until the end and I will show you how you can register for a private session to experience the technique one-on-one, because one-on-one is way more powerful. So congratulations, Celestine, and
Thank
enjoy
you.
the change.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Okay, so guys, I want all of you now to write in the chat how intense it is. It was actually the belief that it's hard to make money in the beginning from 0 to 10 and how intense it is now. So for example, yeah, so Celestine it was 10 and now it is a 5. You can just write in the chat how intense it was the belief that it's hard to make money in the beginning and how intense it is now. So just write in the chat, I'm curious to see. And it's also important to measure and to quantify. Okay, I feel elevated, I feel amazing. No, right, so like Rox mentioned, yeah, it was an 8 in the beginning, now it is a 3, from 3 to 0, it's from 10 to 6. So right, how intense it was in the beginning and how intense it is now. I'm feeling a lot better. Thank you. From 10 to 5, from 9 to 3. Does it work if I fell asleep? Well, you tell me how intense it was, the fear in the beginning, and how intense it is now. It was an 8, now it is a 5, from 7 to 5. So write all of you in the chat how you feel now. So for Ritika it was 10, now it's 0, amazing. From 8 to 3, from 5 to 2, amazing. Yeah, perhaps if you fell asleep you were not that aware. So guys, now I want to show you how you can actually register for a free session, and after that we're gonna have a Q&A. So if you have any questions, I'm gonna be very happy to answer all of your questions. So um, usually I used to do the free sessions, but what I saw that if you make actually a little payment, yeah, you're gonna be more involved and you're gonna be more present for the session. So what we're gonna do, if you want to register for a free for a private session to experience the technique 101, I'm gonna send you the link to register, and it's gonna be $33. Usually a session with me, if you want to do 1 hour private session with me, is gonna be $444 usually, but only during this webinar, I'm gonna be very generous with you, and you're gonna be able to register for a private session with me or one of my facilitators for only $33. It's gonna be literally the best $33 that you're gonna ever spend. And this is, once again, this is just a symbolic payment to make sure that you are serious and you're going to show up to the session and you're going to be more involved. Yeah, this is not going to make any difference to me or to you. This is just to be a little energetic exchange. So it's more like a symbolic payment to make sure that you are serious and you're gonna get involved and you're gonna actually have more results if you do this. So once again, today I'm very generous and you're gonna be able to register for the free session here. Okay, so I'm gonna share with you the link to register, and I'm gonna share with you more things on what you can do after and what is the purpose of this session actually. So here is the link to register for the private session. And basically the aim of this session, of this private session, is for you to experience the technique and to see if you qualify to enter our program. So in that session, I'm going to help you to reprogram one of your biggest fears and limiting beliefs. And after that, if you see results and you want to go further, maybe to learn the technique, to apply it on yourself or to apply it on others, and to work deeper with me or one of my facilitators, I'm going to show you how we can do that. And by the way, the first 5 people that are going to register will have the session with me. Yeah, so once again, instead of 444 USD, it's only 33 USD for this webinar if you want to register for a private session. And after that, if you see results during this private session and you want to go further to learn the technique or to work deeper together in my program, this is what you're going to find in the program. First of all, you're going to be able to learn the technique in a recorded course. It's going to take you about 3 hours to learn everything that I know about the technique, how to apply it on yourself, how to apply it on others, how to release negative emotions, how to reprogram fears, traumas, limiting beliefs, everything. And we're going to do 6 private sessions of 1 hour each during 6 weeks. This 6 sessions is going to be more than enough to literally reprogram everything in your life. Yeah, I've never done more than 6 sessions with anybody. So the purpose of this mentorship program is for you to learn the technique, to apply it on yourself and on others, and even to do a career out of this if you want to help people, and to reprogram all that list with main fears and limiting beliefs. Because once again, if you want a long lasting powerful transformation in your life, what you have to do is to literally reprogram all of those fears and limiting beliefs from your subconscious mind. So once again, if you want to register for the private session, you can do it here. And the first 5 people that will register will have the session with me. And perhaps on Monday, you can check the calendar to see where you are. So the calendar will take you exactly where are you, will take your time zone, and will adapt it to mine. Have you seen the price of the rand to the dollar? I don't understand the question. So guys, if you have any questions, you can ask me. How do you feel after the session? I'm curious what did I get blocked? Lol. I don't understand. Appreciate a lot, truly feel the difference. So guys, if you have any questions for me about the technique, about your life, about whatever blockage you have, about the private session, about the technique, about my life, about your life, you can write in the chat. We're gonna have another 10 minutes maximum of Q&A, and we're gonna end this webinar. So once again, if you want to register for a private session to experience the technique one-on-one, because once again, what I've done today is I've applied the technique one-to-many, but if you want to see the full potential of the technique, we have to do a private session and to see exactly what's in your subconscious mind, and to see what it means to reprogram a fear completely, to do the digging exercise on yourself until the end. Because what I've done today, you know, we didn't went to the bottom of the fears, so there are more to work on. Would you consider a self-accepting webinar? Yes, we can actually do a webinar on self-forgiveness. That is a very powerful thing to experience, to forgive yourself. I've attended the Not Worth It. It was great. I truly feel the difference. Very sincere. Just confused. I don't understand your question, Christina. I can accomplish on my own. Once again, that price is more symbolic, for you to be more involved and to be an energetical exchange. Is there a material you can share with me? Uh, it depends what kind of material do you mean. You can also check my YouTube channel if you want to see more about this technique. Let me give you my YouTube channel in a moment. Yeah, here is my YouTube channel. You can see the other webinars that I've done on different topics. And I think in the description of those videos, you can also see my WhatsApp number. If you have any questions for me, you can also text me on WhatsApp and I will be able to help you. But the best way is to register for a session, and I'm gonna be able to answer to all of your questions and to help you in a more powerful way. So if you want to register for the session, I'm gonna leave one more time the link in the chat. Yes, I will come back in the summer in Romania. I don't like the winter. And I'm actually doing every time when I'm coming back to Romania, I'm doing a lot of workshops live in Bucharest and in Cluj and in different cities of Romania. So if you're around, we can even meet. Or if you come to Bali, we can meet faster if you want to meet up. I'm grateful for an angel, Emmanuel. I live in Timișoara. Amazing. Where there are techniques you used to change your life, or it was the only one. So there were, all the techniques have helped me, even the affirmations, and I think all the spiritual practices and all the self-development techniques and therapies, I think they are working, but it depends how fast they are working. Yeah, even the EFT, the psyche, the timeline healing, the theta healing, the regressions, I think all of them are working. But if you want to see results fast and you want to change your life, is this method works instantly. You can see the results and you can work a little bit with more clarity. You can see how intense it is, the fear or the trauma in the beginning. You apply the technique and you see how intense it is at the end. If you can't afford now, we can find the link to YouTube. Yes, the link is there. And by the way, we are organizing webinars weekly. So you can check the community on Instagram, the Law of Attraction. I think there is a channel on the chat, and we're gonna announce every webinars there. I believe that this is the technique that I've been searching for. Just come and experience it, because I have one simple rule. If you want to enter my program and where you're gonna learn the technique or to work deeper with the facilitator, there is only one requirement. You have to see results. You're not allowed to buy any course or any program from me if you don't see results previously. So only if you see results and you resonate with the technique, you are able to qualify to enter my program. Otherwise, no. Because I think this is the most authentic way of doing things. I want you to test first, to taste, to see how it is, and to see if it's working for you. Because, I've also been into that situation where I've invested a lot of money into different programs, self-development, and therapies, and so on. And the promise that they were giving me, it wasn't really like that. And I know what it is. I know what it means, and that's why a lot of people are coming to me telling me that I'm so frustrated because I spend a lot of money into different programs, practices, therapies, and I am at the same level. So that's why I want to do the things differently. I want you to taste the technique first to see if it's working for you, and only after that, after you see results clearly, you can take the decision if you want to enter my program. And by the way, it's not necessarily about money. If you really want to do this, we can definitely find a solution for you to enter the program where you learn the technique. But first of all, you have to experience it and to see if you have results 100%. Otherwise, we're not gonna work together. I have registered and paid. What are the next steps? So you're gonna be contacted on WhatsApp or on iMessage to confirm the session, but you also received already an email, yeah, with the Zoom link, and you've also chosen in the calendar the time. So at the time that you've chosen to do the session, that's the time when we're gonna do the session, according to your time zone. Recently, you reprogram subconscious negative beliefs. You can tell me how can I do myself? I mean, how can I do this? It's going to take me at least 3 hours to teach you the technique. You can learn the technique on the course. It is a recorded course, and you can also work with the facilitator to guide you more throughout the program and to transform your life, to reprogram basically that list with main fears and limiting beliefs. So yeah, if you stay until the end, as I said, you're going to be able to register for a private session. And you can register for the private session right here, as I shared earlier. So by the way, guys, this link, you can find it only here. You cannot find it anywhere outside of this webinar. So if you want to book the session, maybe, I don't know, in 1 or 2 hours, copy the link and register, because you're not going to find it anywhere else. Well, if you cannot afford it, just register for the session, find the resources to do so if you really want to change your life, and I'm gonna help you to enter the program anyway. Once again, if you really want to do this, we can find the solution, but only if you really want to do it. All right, guys, I think we are reaching the end of this webinar. So congratulations for all of your results, for your time, and I'm gonna see you on the next webinar or on the private sessions if you have registered already. If you have any questions for me, you have my WhatsApp. You can check my WhatsApp number from YouTube. Maybe next time I'm gonna share my contact here with you if you want to text me anything in private, and we will talk soon. Enjoy the change and see you at the next webinar.